Hi, everyone. It is still December 9, 2019. You see this right angle up here, right up here? How nicely defined it is. And a right angle. Let me stop it. Right here. Okay. Right angle. Apparatus to channel large air mass for climate modification. A method for modifying the weather by channeling dry air masses over large bodies of water by means of an artificial barrier built at an acute angle as to the incoming dry air mass, yada, 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 yada. Man has taken over weather. So, before I show you more, I want to thank everyone for leaving a comment saying that you have subscribed to BitChute. I understand the frustration for those of you who left comments saying you're going to BitChute, you put in Never Lose Truth, and nothing comes up, you can't find me. The only thing that I can say is the link is below this video in the description box for those who have trouble either finding links or those who say you didn't leave the links. Are you watching? Are you accessing the internet on your cell phones? Because I think that's where the problem is, that you're not given the links on your cell phones. I don't know what's happening, but I would say for the 8 years, I have provided links 99.999% of the time. Okay, so the links are there. And I may on occasion forget, to link to something, but those who say, where are the links? When you click on a video and you just scroll to the channel name, and then you'll see some writing and a show more. Click on show more. That's where the links are. I can't stand this new, wow, man, the internet is a trip. They throw in all of these new things and they think, what, they're so cool and great. It's so annoying. These little video pop-ups now on YouTube. Anyway, all the links are in what used to be called the description box, but now I guess it's the show more box. All right. And I guess this is how I'm going to be starting and ending videos with, please click on the link and hit subscribe. Never lose truth. I don't want to lose you guys if YouTube starts to enforce their new terms of policy, getting rid of channels that are not commercially viable. For those who have left information or the names or links to other sites where you can post videos, I've bookmarked them. And yeah, doing new things, taking in new information is very difficult for me. So, I wish I had some real life help, but I'll check it out. If I decide to go to another site, I will post right here on BitChute to get off BitChute, and this is where you will learn that. Nowhere else. So, please click on the link and subscribe. Thank you. And thank you all for subscribing and for the support. It sure does help me, to say the least. It helps a lot. Oh my God. Okay. Air masses. We're seeing some very strange activity on radar and satellite sites. And I'm going to go through some of that. What we have seen 2019 has been really phenomenal. Just hard to even figure out what the hell is going on. Okay, so air masses going in a northeasterly direction, going in a northwesterly direction, coming in to the east, moving in all different directions. Right angle created to control the circulation of the atmosphere. Air masses. Look at this perfectly straight line. Gotta hand it to them. It's a brilliance that is way beyond me. It's fascinating. Nanotechnology has pretty much taken over the weather. To understand this is very difficult. But as you can see, the air masses are going every which way, circling around and then circling right here, going back west, but splitting off also and coming in opposite directions. All right. The little white blobs that you see, I do believe, are nanoballoons. It's unfortunate that those in control of this technology are evil and using it in an evil manner when it could have been used for such good. Wow. Think about what life could have been had there been more good on this planet than evil shitheads. I, for one, am not a happy camper. So, all right. I've been seeing some very, very strange appearances on radar and satellite. Here we are. See all of the chemtrails in the Northwest, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, coming into Northern California. And you have the air masses going in opposite directions. Well, kind of. Well, yeah. It's even hard to get control over everything that's going on. So you have this coming down in a northeasterly direction. You have this going in a north kind of, well, easterly and westerly direction. Today was really flippy, which I'll show you, an earlier capture of mine. And I called a subscriber in Southern California. I said, did you have a lot of wind today? And she said, yes. Because what I was seeing, and I'll show you, it was, well, it looked pretty windy considering what they were doing with the air mass. And I'll read excerpts from one particular patent that, yes, they emit frequencies from satellites and they can control air masses. Look how nicely defined is this right up here. This is now New Mexico. So you had that cloud mass that was just hanging out in Arizona. Now it's shifted a little to New Mexico. You can see the microwaves down here, all of the ripples in this artificial cloud substance. You can see a split of the air masses right here. And this air mass is being held in place. because this is not moving, while this is speeding along, going up in a northeasterly direction. This is bumping up against this air mass. This here coming from, what is that, Nebraska or Kansas? The air masses are going all over the place. And you see an air mass that is being held stagnant. The microwaves right here. It's not moving. But air masses around it are moving. And this is being bunched together. It's like air masses are just, they're colliding, these air masses. So what's happening in New Mexico? In the southwest of New Mexico. All right. As you can see, an air mass is moving down south, east. No, one is coming down south. One is going east. You can see the microwaves right in here. It's hard to know what the hell they're doing. And because I know that, well, just because it looks like precipitation doesn't mean that it's raining. So that's a new one, you know. It's very frustrating because I spent a tremendous amount of time trying to understand radar and satellites, and let's just say that it was hours upon hours and hours to understand what was going on. And 2019, well, all of that, put it on the shelf, because a whole new happening came into being in 2019. All of this nanotechnology, which all of these little white dots illuminate. Suddenly you just see them come about. Millions and millions and millions of nano balloons have been dropped into the atmosphere. And that is what you're seeing. So, they can also multiply. Yes. Nano factories. Programmable. This is not good, and frankly, I'm not even sure, are they bringing everything to a complete chaotic state up there, or have they lost control? All right, this is real time, and it's 11:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 9th of December. Whoa! Okay, Mother Nature, you go, girl. You stretch it out. You stretch it out. And you got the nanobots up here that are helping you. They're reaching out. They're connecting with you. Don't worry. Wish we were all nanobots so that we could reach out and connect. Stand together. You know, operate as one. But no. We have to be human beings and fight over stupid little petty differences. All right. This is nanotechnology at work. Now, it's obvious that this is not Mother Nature, because Mother Nature does not work in defined lines. She does not create these stretching precipitation masses to create these 1,000+ storms that, well, seem to hang out in Texas or the Gulf and go all the way to Canada, she does not create very defined lines. Thin lines that hook up with other precipitation. Now, nanobots, they send information, they receive information from each other. And they, in their communication, they connect. They connect. What we are seeing down here is the connection of what I've always called precipitation soldiers. These little blips of precipitation, and then they all connect into a nice fine line. Yes. Nanotechnology has taken over Mother Nature. You can see this plasma ball, the creation of it, Doppler radar, emitting those very high, powerful, high frequencies into the ionosphere. And yes, they can create plasma, artificial plasma, that can also be used for weather modification. So, all of this whole line of precipitation was created today. Will it blow up into a massive storm? May very well. Will it all connect into a massive storm? It may very well. Depends on what that military commander decides. And I have posted videos on nanotechnology used weather to create weather. Create weather. And the other differences are, I don't even understand a lot of the signatures that I'm seeing. And it seems that all precipitation now, or most of it, is wrapped in the plasma. The blue is not snow. The blue is plasma. So all of the straight lines that you see, these are laser shots, pulsating extremely low frequencies. The blue is plasma. The ripples are the microwaves in use. The circular pattern, which may be on, is it there? Yeah, okay, this was earlier. This was at 4:52, so close to 5 p.m. today, the 9th. Wow. All right, they were at work creating that line of storm. The whole thing was not connected yet, but it's connected now, as you can see. And will they create another line of storms and bring them together to really bring about a lot of precipitation for many states? They may very well. So this was today, earlier today. These circular lines right here, HAARP NEXRAD rings, that's what they are referred to as. The high frequencies that they emit to push up the ionosphere. And when that ionosphere, when they let go of the frequency, the ionosphere just comes crashing back down, and they send down extremely low frequencies right down to Earth. But look at these air masses going in different directions. What we were seeing is really pretty intense. So it looks like this, on the periphery of this air mass up here, it's coming down south. But the cloud is going, the other part of the air mass is going up north, and this, well, goes in an easterly direction. I mean, really, air masses Wow, are they doing a number? You'll see the stationary cloud evaporate or expand. You'll see the air mass coming down here. And air mass is also coming down very quickly. Yes, they can control the speed of air masses. So this is going kind of an easterly direction up here in Idaho. Down here, Nevada, Utah, south. This is coming in south. This is going in east off the coast. And then you have a stagnant portion of cloud that is off the coast. But look at the speed of this. All right, so was it windy in Washington? Was it windy in Idaho, North Idaho, and North Montana? But look at this, okay? What is going on here? Right here. It's a mess. Moving the air masses every which way off the coast of Washington and Oregon. You have one going up north, northwest. You have another coming in east. You have this going down south. Okay, atmospheric chaos. There are articles out there, the experts saying that we could have an atmospheric collapse and that would not be good because, oh, well, I guess depending on the collapse, 6 months to 2 years, all life would be dead. Now, look at what's happening. Look at these air masses going every which way. One is held. One's coming to the east. This is going up north. This is coming down south. This is going southeasterly. This is going northeasterly. Arizona, you've got a pocket of, well, weirdness. Southern California, you got a pocket of weirdness. And it's almost like they're holding stagnant this portion, this region, the air mass in this region, and just, I don't know, playing with it. What is this propulsion right here? This is Texas. So, please let me know, guys, if you have been experiencing weather events in your area, because it's getting very hard to find the information. Arizona, you had this there for I don't know how long, but as you can see, one air mass, okay, this is going kind of northern and northeasterly direction. This is propulsion is hitting this really at a speed that shouldn't be. Coming down in a southwesterly, this northwesterly, this just, well, I guess they're just playing with you here in the south east section of Arizona. This is coming down south. This, they're playing with you in Southern California. Right here is where my subscriber said she had wind today. This is very dangerous, what they are doing here. And you can see the microwaves, the evenly spaced ripples in the cloud substance, in the middle of the cloud substance right here. This is really... So, they're colliding air masses, but one is pushing the air mass upward. You can see the microwaves right down here, and I guess this is Arkansas? No, Louisiana. And this thick, unbelievably thick air mass, which, yes, they can make clouds thick with frequencies. So, what you are observing, now this is coming up north from the Gulf, and this is held. This is being held. There's a barrier here. All of it manipulated by man. I really would like to hear from you guys in these areas, because it's hard to check out every single area because it's so time consuming. But look at what's happening here, okay? Now, you have a right angle that is showing up right down here. I should have stayed more attentive to it, but and then you have an air mass that it's just going, it's crazy. Up north, down south, spinning around. Then you have an air mass that is being held stagnant with evaporating clouds. And an air mass, well, it's kind of stagnant, but there's a propulsion that's blowing it out to the coast. This is going down south, but you also have an air mass that is coming in from the coast on top of it, right here. You can see it moving this way. You can see this going down south. I mean, what is going on here? Wow. This is turbulence. Wouldn't want to be in a plane going over this. Major instabilities created. This cloud just evaporates. This cloud inland off the coast is just hanging out there. This mass of cloud, well, what's this in here? The illuminated clouds, nanotechnology. You can see all of the chemtrails coming in, Oregon into Northern California. You can see that there's a split, another real pocket of turbulence, instability right here. This is Washington, I believe. Look at this. The air masses, what they are doing is so incredibly dangerous. And you do have to wonder, have they lost control? But you know how sick and crazy and these people are just really nuts. So could they be doing this? Yeah. Look at these air masses. They're colliding, they're going over one another, they're all over the place. You see all of the microwaves, but you also see the nanobots. Look at this. The millions and millions of nanobots that they have dumped into our atmosphere that, well, they've got the nano factories up there and they just make more and more and more. That's what I believe we are looking at. All of these little white blips. The nano balloons. The Pacific looks like a Christmas tree, flickering. A flickering Christmas tree. Now, yes, I could go on and on and on showing you that something is grossly wrong with our the circulating atmosphere, the air masses. There's a real split right here, and this air mass is kind of moving down south, and look at all of the flickering nano balloons. But one that's right on top of it is heading east, while you go out to the Pacific and you're like, okay, weird things are happening. And all right, you've got this coming down south, being pushed off, but this is going northeasterly. This is coming down south, right down here, So the air masses, they are really whipping them around. Why did they do that? Because moving the air mass, you can create a weather event. No, this is not Mother Nature. Mother Nature was kind of imperfectly perfect, or perfectly imperfect. This is madness. This is utter chaotic madness in our atmosphere. All right, I'm going to stop now, but I could show you an awful lot more. And yes, I am fascinated with it, and that's why I have a tendency to go on, but they got this together. Let's just look at this now. Okay. You can see they're just crimping up everything. Nothing is flowing. Look at this pushing up against. This air mass is pushing this air mass. Well, I think you get the point, right? I will link below to these sites and you can check it out. It's very, very disturbing. But yeah, you can see they are holding this air mass right there. Mid New Mexico into Arizona. And they are bringing you up a... Do you got a storm going there? You see the microwaves in it. You see the colliding air masses, because an air mass is kind of going in an easterly direction. This is coming up north. You got the microwaves down here. I don't know what just happened. All right, well, yeah, it's not good. It's just not good, okay? All right, you get it. So, we've got method and apparatus for local modification of atmosphere. Got a whole lot of papers and patents talking about affecting the circulation of atmosphere of the air masses for weather modification. Again, artificial barrier built at an acute angle to channel large air masses for climate modification. Atmospheric circulation system and method, yes, to artificially create atmospheric circulation systems. Now, I was able to translate this, but for some reason, now the translation, well, I checked it out. Oh, okay, good. It worked. Method for changing weather in local areas of the surface atmosphere. Russia. The invention can be used to change the temperature in a given region, to clear the atmosphere of smog, fog, etc. A method for changing the weather includes creating a convective cloud with an upward air current, as well as generating a downward air current at a predetermined distance from the upward current zone. In other words, this patent is talking about manipulating the air masses for weather modification. Weather modification by artificial satellites. I've done this before, but I got to do it again. And if you want to read, and this is an interesting patent. It's it reads rather easy, and yeah, satellites up there, they are communicating with one another to send energy beams down here for weather modification. All right, but the air masses, that's what I'm going to focus on. Each frequency agile energy pulse is designed to penetrate a specific air mass layer of specified composition. For example, these energy pulses can be used to modify a specified air mass inside a thick cloud The criteria used to select and to guide each energy beam are based on an estimated specific thermodynamic change taking place in a specific air mass that satisfies some required weather condition changes. And if you want to know how it all works, just read this patent. Warming local regions by redirecting solar rays to large local areas, creating clouds by warming local wet surfaces, and modifying local air mass velocity components by controlled heating of specific air masses to create pressure differentials. Techniques to modify air mass velocity, speed, horizontal speed, vertical speed. This is what they're doing. We suffer the consequences. All of this could have been used for good. And it's being used to destroy people. And that pisses me off. So, what also pisses me off is my Control F doesn't work. So, I have to just scroll on down, up, and then I'll heat up a specified air mass of specific composition. Heating up, by the way, microwaves, all the microwaves that you see. The ripples in those clouds and the air masses it can force the air mass to move from the high pressure region to the low pressure. Oh wow, they can create low or high pressure zones? Yeah, they can. This technique can be used to move an air mass of specific composition from one location to another. This technique can also be used to modify the jet stream path and therefore modify the weather on either side of the jet stream. They can create a high humidity air mass, or they can form clouds. Increase the moisture content of the air mass above the heated wet surface. Features relating to moving an air mass. They can initiate or modify an air mass's upward motion. See, you create a high pressure, you create a low pressure, you move the air mass up, you create a weather event. Relating to modifying an air mass's horizontal velocity, best way to transport an air mass of specific composition and thermodynamic properties is to allow it to be carried by wind currents naturally. But however, natural wind does not always satisfy weather modification requirements. So you create a pressure differential on either horizontal side of the air mass to be moved. Unequal distribution of energy into two adjacent sides of the air mass. And it moves where man wants it to go. Large input of energy will cause the air mass to absorb the energy and expand rapidly in all directions. Rapid heating of another air mass. The speed of the induced air mass velocity. All of this energy is really fascinating. All of it with frequencies. Moving a humid air mass inland and allowing it to condense terrain. The horizontal velocity component will move the air mass inland. The vertical velocity component will allow the air mass to move to a higher and colder altitude. This will delay the air mass's condensation into rain until it reaches its desired location. High humidity air masses they can create. They can move two air masses in opposite directions, which you've been seeing, or in the same direction at different speeds, which I've shown you. The process will create a whirlwind or a small tornado. Whirlwind or tornado strength can be increased or decreased by combining and colliding many smaller whirlwinds rotating in the same direction, thus creating a stronger or weaker whirlwind. Yes, they can create wind, they can create whirlwinds, they can create tornadoes. They can control air masses. They can steer the jet stream. All of these weather events that they claim as a result of climate change It's an utter lie. It's a result of man controlling weather. All links are below. Please don't forget. Click on the link below. Subscribe. I don't want to lose you guys. Ciao. Have a nice night.